almost didn't see you there. What's your name? Oh, I really like that name. My name is Miss Abbey. I'm one of your teachers in the Royal Ravens classroom. The Royal Ravens is a really fun place to be. There are lots of new things to explore, fun toys to play with, and good books to read. I was thinking, I have this book, and it's called The Royal Raven. And I noticed there was a connection between that book and our classroom. They both have the same name. Isn't that so silly? I was thinking, would you like to read the book with me? You would? Oh, great. That makes me so happy. Let's go read it together. Come on. The Royal Raven by Hans Wellham. Crack! The egg popped open and out came Crawford. Here I am, he crowed. But there was no reply. His mother was out looking for food. He was all by himself. There was nobody to make a fuss about his arrival. But then came an even bigger disappointment. Crawford saw that he was a boring-looking raven like all the others. Deep in his heart, he felt that he was special. He tried to show how different he was. "Look at me," he said. But nobody paid attention. At first, Crawford was furious. That didn't help much. Then he began to feel sorry for himself. Every time he got sight of the ordinary raven's feathers, he wished he looked different. Why can't I look like a swan, or a cardinal, or an eagle, or even a silly little hummingbird? Anything would be better than this. Every day, Crawford came up with another idea to improve his appearance. But it was no use. Nothing seemed to be right. "I have to do something more drastic," he said, and he flew off into the deepest part of the forest. There he called upon an old woman who was known for her special powers. Crawford came right to the point. "I'll do anything if you can make me different. I want some color, some flash, some razzle-dazzle." "What can a silly raven like you do for me?" the old woman sneered. "You're no good at all." She paused. "However, I might use some of your tail feathers to spice up this brew." "Done," said Crawford. He plucked out some of his longest tail feathers and gave them to the woman. "Abracadabra, shaloo-kaloo, shalee-kalee," croaked the old woman, and with a bang and a boom and a zip and a zap, Crawford was transformed into a spectacular creature with dazzling, shiny feathers. "Wow!" cried Crawford as he looked himself over. "I hope I didn't overdo it," said the old woman. And then, without even bothering to thank her, Crawford flew off to his friends. "Look at me! Look at me!" he cried. He spread his wings and strutted up and down with his beak in the air. "Who is that crazy bird?" the other ravens wondered. But they were too polite to say anything. "It's me, Crawford! Look at how beautiful I am now!" The other ravens stared in silence. "I'm special! I'm unique!" Crawford boasted. "Such a beauty should not be hidden in a dark forest. The royal garden is the place for me." And with that, he flew off to the king's castle. As Crawford swooped around the royal garden, he was spotted by the princess. "Look at that glorious bird!" she cried. "Don't let it get away! I want it!" And Crawford was caught and tied to the golden chain. Proudly, the princess showed off her new treasure. Crawford didn't mind it in the least. After all, he was now part of the royal family. What more could he have wished for? He had it all: dazzling beauty, lots of attention, and a wonderful place to live. Unfortunately, the royal raven's table manners left much to be desired. He lost a great deal of his popularity when he caused a major ruckus in the dining room, and he was ordered out. And the king made a decree banning all birds from the dinner table, even those that were roasted, broiled, or barbecued. Crawford was banished to a huge golden cage that stood all alone in the royal garden. Servants brought him food, but hardly anyone came to see him anymore. Once in a while, someone would pass and say, "Oh, what a beautiful bird." But this praise did not make him happy. Each day, Crawford got sadder and sadder. He could see the other birds fly by, and he longed to join them. All he wanted was to be free again. He lost his appetite and grew weaker and weaker. One day, an old woman came to the garden selling strawberries. "What a sad-looking bird," the old woman said. "Why don't you let it go?" "Oh, no," said the princess. "This bird is too precious. There isn't another like it in the whole kingdom with such dazzling feathers." "Oh, I see," said the old woman. "So you keep him for his razzle-dazzle." Suddenly, Crawford understood what he had to do to gain back his freedom. He began to pluck out all of his beautiful feathers one by one, and when the princess saw what he had done, she screamed, "Get that horrid bird out of my sight!" And that was exactly what Crawford wanted. The guards opened the door of the cage, and at last Crawford was free again. Crawford sure looked different now, but he wasn't worried. "My feathers will grow back," he said, "and I don't care if they're gold, silver, purple, striped, spotted, or just plain black." And neither did his friends. The end. Wasn't that a good book? Thank you for spending that time with me to read the Royal Raven book. I appreciate you, and I had lots of fun doing it. Well, I guess this is so long, and I'll see you next time. Bye.